Are you sitting comfortably? Then the show will begin. How fabulous is that? It looks like the monsters are sat waiting for the show to start. I love it. Oh, boop. It looks like they're in rows at the cinema, doesn't it? Isn't that just fabulous? I love it. Right, we're going to show you how to make this. It's not as complicated as it looks. In fact, it's really quite simple, but you've got all the mats and layers that you need, and then you can choose whichever characters you want to put on there. I think I've just gone a bit, there we go. Right, so you are going to need the back, the right-hand side, the left-hand side to start with, okay? So you're going to do think about that, yep, a valley fold. And then a mountain fold. Oh, I'll tell you, this red liner tape, we're not best friends, me and red liner tape. Right, so that is going to stick in there like that. Okay, so let's do that. So on the top of the narrowest section, oh, I'm so glad we did videos and we didn't have to write these up. It would have been absolute, my brain would have been frazzled. Right, so that's going to stick onto there like that, making sure that we're all nice and lined up, top and bottom. And making sure that it's all lined up to that perforation line. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So a valley fold and a mountain fold. Like that. And like that. And then we're going to glue this one onto there like that. Okay. So let's get this glue onto here. And then please let it dry thoroughly. Okay, so this one is going to go on here. You need to make sure that the bottom is absolutely level. And if the bottom is absolutely level, then obviously the top will be too. But that is crucial. Okay. So that's that bit. Right, now then, while that is drying, I'm going to bring in the front and these two pieces here, okay? So one's going to go one side and one's going to go the other side, like that. And it's going to create a little strip for the doors to go through. So you've got two perforation lines on either end. You've got one there and then another one that's slightly higher up or lower down, whichever way you've got your card. So I'm just going to use this or an old credit card or whatever it is and just enable you, because it's quite narrow, it's quite difficult with perforations or even score lines when it's quite narrow. So use something like this, just put it up against those fold lines and then fold them up against it, and it makes it much easier then to be able to fold. Okay. You work all these things out when you have to. Over the years, you think, right, how can I make that easier? I'm going to fold this over, and then the same on this side, like that, and like that. And that just folds into place, okay? So one of them is going to go, let me think about this. Does it go like, let me just check, and then I don't get it wrong for you, because I don't want to get it wrong. That would be really confusing if the woman who's teaching you gets it wrong, wouldn't it? That way around. So the tabs glue onto there like that, okay? And it creates a pocket. So we're going to put glue onto here. And then we're going to take the front and we're going to glue this so that so when you've got your tab facing forward, the first score line lines up to the top edge of your front. Okay, so you've still got that spine there that's going to give you the room for those doors to move in and out, okay? And you'll know if you've got it straight because the two semicircle cutouts will line up. And then glue on the other one. So work whichever way you need to make it easy for you to hold that card in place. And then I'm going to bring this one over and line that up. And I'm looking at my semicircles all the time to make sure that they're lined up and that I've got that extra spine here and here, okay? This is probably the trickiest bit of it all. So, and that's not particularly tricky either, is it? So, same on this side. I think you've got different fronts for these as well. You've got different versions of this, so you've got options. So again, I'm lining it up with that first score line, making sure that tab is pressed down perfectly. And then same on this side. Like that. And I'm going to move that over there. Press that down. If you've got something like little craft pegs, something like that, or reverse tweezers, just pop those on while it dries a bit, because you'll find that holds it in place. So you've then got your front, and you've got these two straps at the back. Okay, so you can see the tabs are behind here, glued onto that black part there. Okay, it's like a backpack, if you like. Right, now this is the bit that you might think, oh, these are a bit tight. They're meant to be, okay? So you've got two of these middles. And when you open this up, you can see you've got two slits, a larger one and a smaller one. So you're just going to put them in at an angle, and you're going to have to just wiggle it in, all right? And you'll think there's no way that's going in there. Just keep at it, because they do. You've just got to, and this is where you need to use a really good sturdy card weight for this. Don't go in and chop a bit off unless you absolutely have to. You see, I can just fold it over now and push that in, okay? Because if you chop these off completely, you've got nothing to stop it coming back through again. And then this one will go in easier because you've got one in and the rest of the card isn't wobbling around. So I'm just going to bend that over, which is why the slits or these open areas are slots rather than slits. So it's got more of an open area for you to be able to get those through. That's that one, okay? So you will have to fight with it a bit. I'm just letting you know, just warning you. And the smaller one seems to be harder than the bigger one. So what you could do is just fold it over like that. And Ella designed this, so don't tell her I told you that, because she'll be telling me off. And then this one can go up there, and then I'm just going to fold that up a bit and push that one through. And there's no perforation lines to fold, so it won't weaken it that much. And then you've got your mechanism that closes and opens, closes and opens. And if I show you from the back, you'll see what happens to those middle bits. They move in and out like that, okay? So the next bit we need to do is attach the frame to this. And all you're going to do is thread the doors through there. And again, this will be a tight fit. And you're trying to put them in on a slight angle. But as soon as they straighten up, they will slide through. Please make sure that everything's dry before you do this, because you'll get really frustrated. And then this one should slide in easier because the other one is now stabilising the other side, she says. But bear in mind that this glue isn't dry yet either. So they slide through. Sorry, I'm trying to do it so that you can see it, and if you can see it, I can't. So I just need to, I'm going to turn it around this way and slide it in this way, I think. Because you've got that tab underneath, you need to be able to see where you're sliding in. Come on, in you go. I know you fit. There you go. It's catching on where the tab is there, because I've got a double thickness of card there. There we go. So don't give up and start chopping bits off, okay? It's because you're working on, you're trying to put a straight edge piece of card in at an angle, because you have to, until you get everything in. And then once you've got everything in, you can pull it so the doors are open like that. Okay, so it does take a little bit of wiggling about. And then again, put your mats and layers on the front of here, because this needs to be strengthened to allow for that, once you move it backwards and forwards, not to damage that frame, okay? So it's one of those where you might think, oh, I don't want to put 2 mats on. Please do. Because can you see how it's bowing here on this one? 1, because the glue's not drying, and 2, because I haven't got enough stability on here. If I bring this one in, and I promise you I didn't cut anything off, because this is now rigid, listen. So I've got nice thick card, thick white card, and then 2 layers. So I've probably got about 600 GSM on there. It then slides in and out like that. And then just like you did with your pop-up box, you just position your characters where you want them. I love that. I think it's so cute. Just be careful not to put too much decoration on here, because it's got to go in and out and you don't want it to catch on those tabs. So just think about how you're decorating this bit. You might want to draw something on here and then cut it out for your mats and layers, rather than sticking stuff on it. But once this is completely dry and I've got that stability, look at the difference there, and I've got the stability on there, this will then just slide backwards and forwards. But you do have to be precise with these pieces here, these straps, because if one's slightly higher and one's slightly lower, it's not going to run on a horizontal track, and you need it to, okay? And then you can see there, they just slide in and out, but it's that frame that's, look, what's to concertina. But I promise you, once you've got it like this, where you can see, don't need to promise you, look. And just be aware, this is the other thing that you need to think about on this one, is when you're sticking characters on, like this little munchkin here, this blue one here, I had to adjust his arm to go through the slot as it closes, because otherwise it doesn't go through. So you can't have anything that is deeper than that slot that's in there, because it goes through it, okay? So just wanted to point out those little places where you might get a bit ambitious, and I know that because I did. And then I realised, no, you can't have it that tall, Melanie, because it won't go through the slot. So yeah, I love that. I think anybody would love, and I love the fact that they look like they're in a theatre or a cinema waiting for the movie to start. So enjoy that one. It's great fun, and I'm ready to film my last one.